guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. Y'all, let's have some real paper crafting fun. Stay tuned. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for choosing to spend a portion of your day with me. And I'd like to give a big thank you to everyone who has bought me a coffee and to all of my monthly club members. You guys truly do help me to keep this channel running, and I am truly grateful. So today we are going to accomplish 3 things. We are going to make our own double-sided paper. We're going to use one of those large, awkward prints that might be in our paper pads that we never quite know what to do with. And finally, we're going to take our own custom created double-sided paper using that large, awkward print, and we're going to turn it into a very fun and useful project. So here is what I am talking about. I'll give you a closer look once we get ready to go over what's needed, but you can see from the front of this box that this is one of those prints that doesn't have a consistent pattern running across it. This was one of those large graphic pages that we have in our paper pads, and sometimes we look at those and we skip over them because we don't have that consistent pattern, and we don't have a pattern that will work with a lot of the projects that we might be doing. And what's inside of this wonderful box is just so stinking cute and delightful. So y'all know what time it is? It's time to make it. All right, y'all, so here's a closer look at the project that we're making today. And this is a great project for using those large print pages that come in some of the paper pads that we have, and we don't quite know what to do with them. Well, I took that large print and I made it the focal for the top of this box, meaning that I don't really need to embellish it because I have this wonderful look on the top. So when I open this box, what I have is a beautifully lined inside because I created my own double-sided paper, and I'll show you that process. Then I created some envelopes that matched the inside liner piece, and then I created these very simple but beautiful 4x4 cards, and these are perfect for dropping in a gift bag or a gift box, or maybe handing it off to a coworker who might be having a rough day, or this is a good size for giving a gift card if you have one that you need to give to someone. So here's what we're going to need to make this. And so here is the 12x12 that I'm going to be using to make the box top. And you can see why it might be one of those pages in your book that you would overlook because it's got large graphics scattered across and doesn't have a consistent pattern. And when we're crafting, we naturally tend to reach for those pages that might be a solid print or have the consistent pattern going across. This isn't one of those pages, but this page has an awesome purpose, and that's what we're going to use it for today. And so what we're going to need, I am using a lightweight scrapbook paper for the envelope. So you're going to need 4 pieces that measure 10.5 by 12. Then I'm going to be using that same lightweight scrapbook paper to line the inside of my box, and I am going to use 2 pieces of 12 by 12. I won't use all of it, but this is what I'll be using to line the inside. Then to make my cards, we'll only need 1 piece of 12 by 12 medium to heavyweight cardstock. And then I've already cut down my box top and the box bottom, and I have mounted the adhesive to the back using my Xyron Creatopia. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the Xyron Creatopia and you want more information on it, it is no longer sold. However, there are quite a few sometimes that you can find on eBay. So just do an internet search of Xyron Creatopia if you want to know more about the machine. So what I have here, for my top, I have a piece that measures 9 1/8 by 9 1/8, and for the bottom I have a piece that measures 9 by 9. And so here is how we are going to turn this single-sided cardstock into double-sided paper. So I'm just going to remove this piece because I already have the adhesive on the back. I'm going to bring in this piece, and I'm just going to place this down, and I'll try to get it straight. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with this one. So you can see that this is a single-sided paper, but we're going to take our scrapbook sheet, which is lightweight, and we're going to place it down and turn this into a double-sided paper. Now I'm using my Xyron Creatopia for this, but you can take this outside, spray the back of your 9x9 and 9 1/8 by 9 1/8 pieces with some adhesive spray. Please do this outside and not indoors because this can be toxic if you inhale it. So I'm going to get these nice and stuck, and then I'll use my finger blade just to go around the edges and trim away the excess. So I started with a piece that was 12 by 12 for this. If you want, you can start with a 10 by 10, 9.5 by 9.5. But I just find that when I start with a 12 by 12 piece, I really don't worry about whether or not my placement is very exact because I have all of that border space around. And now you can see I have turned this piece into a double-sided piece. I'm going to do the same thing over here by removing this excess. And guys, this is one of those great projects that you can also attach the paper napkins to the back. This is perfect for using those napkins to create your own custom double-sided paper. No one else will have this paper design because you made it. So now that I have both of my pieces ready to go, you can see that I have both of them front and back. So we're going to go ahead and make the bottom of the box first, and this measures 9 by 9. So I am going to score at 1/2 inch and at 2 on all 4 sides. So that's 1/2 inch and 2. 1/2 inch and 2. And then I'm going to flip it over to the reverse side just to make sure I have a good score going through. And I'm just going to go back over those scores at 1/2 inch and at 2. And so I'm going to take this, fold it over, and then fold and burnish all of my scores. And I am using heavyweight cardstock for this part, so I'm making sure that I give a good burnishing. And one of the reasons why I went back and scored on both sides is because that will help me with cracking, because I'm trying to go through 2 layers of paper. Okay, so once we have our scores folded and burnished, we are going to have a rectangle here, a square here, and a rectangle here that we need to get rid of on all 4 sides. And then we'll come over to this side. We're going to go up to that second score mark and cut down the middle, and then I can angle in here. I'll come over to this score mark, go up to the second score mark, angle in, angle here, and reduce that piece. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. And so now that we have our tabs cut out on all 4 sides, we can go ahead and take our glue. I'm going to place my glue on these tabs. You can also use tape if you want. And I am going to make sure that when I match it, I'm matching these ends so that everything is nice and straight. So then I'll take my bone folder and go on the inside, and I'm just getting that stuck. And we'll do the same thing right here. So when you bring it up, make sure you're matching it nice and tight. Let's go ahead and get that stuck. Do the same thing over here. Add my glue to that tab. Then I can bring this up, making sure that my corners are nice and crisp. Guys, when you're making a box, the key to a professional looking box is making sure that you have nice, crisp corners and edges. You don't want the edges to be rough or ragged. You want to make sure that everything is nice and aligned and looks nice and smooth. So now I'm just going to take these outer flaps, fold them back, and I'm just going to add my glue to all of these outer flaps. And then all we have to do is take those flaps, fold them in, and get them stuck. So again, I'm using my bone folder just to go in. I am working with a thick paper, so I do have to go over this a few times. And then once I have it stuck, I just need to keep going around to get all of these nice and stuck. And then once you have all of the outer flaps folded over, I'm just going to keep going around to make sure I have everything nice and stuck. And there we have a beautiful double-sided box bottom. And now we're going to bring in the lid, and the lid measures 9 1/8 by 9 1/8, and we're going to score at 1 and at 2 on all 4 sides. So that's 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Then I'll flip it over to the opposite side, and I'm just going to go back and reinforce those scores. That's 1 and 2. And some of you might have noticed that I was using my bone folder and not my stylus. It doesn't matter which one I use. I just happen to have this one in my hand because I had just used it to fold over those inside edges of the box. So just like with the box bottom, I am going to fold and burnish all of my scores all the way around this lid. Okay, so just like before, once we have all of our scores folded and burnished, we have 3 corner pieces on all 4 sides that we need to get rid of. So we are going to just use our finger blade, scissors, whatever it is you use to cut. We're going to go up to that second score mark and drag straight down. And then we can angle in. Then we can go up to the second score mark, angle in. We can angle here, and then we can reduce. We'll come over to this side. We're going to go up to the second score mark. And basically we free this. Then we can angle in here. Then we'll go to the second score mark here. Angle down. Angle over here. And then angle here. And then we can do the same thing on this side. So we'll go up to that second score mark, drag straight down to separate these two, and then we'll angle on this piece, and we'll go to the second score mark right here, angle in as we're cutting down, and then we can angle to remove this piece, and then we'll go above the score mark here and reduce this in size. And so once you have all of your tabs cut out, we're going to take our scissors, because on these two we've already angled in, but we're going to have this one and this one where the cuts are straight. And I am just going to angle because that just makes it easier to fold in the box. And I'll do the same thing here. So I'm just going to angle. And angle. So basically what I did was I made sure that all of these outer flaps were angled so that when I fold them over and in, they go in nice and easily. And so before I glue the box together, this time I'm going to use tape so that you guys can see that yes, we can actually close these boxes with tape. So I am just going around and adding tape to the outer flap. And I'm trimming away what was hanging over. And because this box is not a serious weight-bearing box, I don't have any problem with using tape on it. Now, if this box was really going to be a weight-bearing box that had a lot of items in it, I would use my glue, because in most cases, I have found that when I'm using paper, my glue holds my weight-bearing boxes and bags together a lot better than my tape. And for those of you who might be new to my channel, I use Reptile adhesive exclusively for all of my wet glue needs. That is an unsolicited comment. I have been using this glue for quite a while now, and I love it. So I am going to take my Reptile, place it on those tabs, and get that nice and stuck. So I'm going to place a little bit of wet glue on that tab, bring it over to get it matched so that everything is nice and even. I'll stand it up, use my bone folder to go on the inside and get everything nice and stuck. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. I'm going to add my glue. And then I'll bring this in, get it nice and matched. Then I can go on the inside, get it stuck, and I'll do the same thing here. So we're making sure that we have nice professional edges to this. Then I can use my bone folder to go on the inside, get everything nice and stuck. And now I'll bend back the outer flaps. I'm going to peel away my tape backer. Then I can take this, fold it over, use my bone folder to go on the inside, get that stuck down, and then I'll just continue to peel away my tape backer, fold that over, use my bone folder to make sure everything is nice and stuck. Now we'll peel away the last one, fold it over, get it stuck, and now I'll bring in the box bottom for the infamous moment of truth. We'll take this lid, put it on, and you should have a lid that fits like this. This is a nice snug lid all the way around, and we're able to put it on and remove it with ease. So there we have our beautiful box. We're going to make the cards and the envelope. So from one piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, you're going to be able to make 4 by 4 note cards. So here's how we do it. We're going to trim first and get 8 by 12. So we have this piece that's 8 by 12. We'll put it in on the 12-inch side, move it to 4, and just trim. Then we're going to take this strip that is 4 by 12, and we're going to put it in on the 12-inch side and trim it down to 8. That'll give us 4 pieces that measure 4 by 8. And once we fold those in half, we'll have 4 by 4 cards. So I'm going to put it in on the 8-inch side, score at 4. Super, super easy. My last card, because I'm using a directional print, the last card that I do will open like this. The other 3 cards are going to open like this, but that's no problem for me at all. So I'm going to take my big old spatula and just get these cards folded. And so now I have my 4 cards ready to be decorated. What I'm going to be using, I have these sweet little stickers that I found at a scrapbook store in Texas. Every time I go to Texas, my daughter and I make a day trip of finding a scrapbook store, and we go visit. And we found this sweet little store. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I will get the name and give it to you. And they had all types of wonderful stickers and goodies on the inside. So I picked up some of these stickers, not knowing what I would do with them. I just like them. But now that I'm doing this project, this works very well because these stickers are like word platforms, so you can put it down and then build on it. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to place it down on this piece, just like this. And like I said, that store was the cutest little store. They didn't have a whole lot of scrapbook paper. It was more of an embellishment store than a scrapbook store, but I found so many wonderful goodies. And then I'll take this one and we're going to put it down right here. So I have a sweet little base that I'm going to use to build on. And then I decided I would take some of my Tim Holtz word stickers, and these word stickers are ideology, small talk, and I'm going to use those on these sticker platforms. So this one says, throw kindness around like confetti. So I'm just cutting it into sections, and I'm just going to take it and put it down wherever I want it. And you can see just how sweet and quick that is. Doesn't take a whole lot. Now I have a card. And then I really like this one. You can never have too much happy. So I'm just going to cut it where I want it. And I'm going to take that you can never have too much happy. And how true is that? So now I have 2 cards, and I'm just going to leave those as they are. Then I also found these little packs of stickers that are cut out like stamps, and they're in different sizes. This one says, be a good person, but don't waste time proving it. And this one says, life is beautiful. So what I want to do with these is I'm actually going to peel away the sticker, and then I'm going to back it on some white paper. And just cut that out. And then I'll do the same thing with this one. And the reason why I'm backing it, these stickers are really translucent. So by adding that white background, I get the words to pop more than they would if I just put them down. So I am going to just trim this. So now I'll bring in the other 2 cards, bring in my glue. You can also use your tape runner for this, or tape. And I'm just adding some glue because it happens to be out. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to place it right there because life is beautiful. And I'll use my big old spatula to get that nice and stuck. Then I'm going to take this one, add my glue to the back, and place it down and get it nice and stuck. And just like that, y'all, we have 4 beautiful cards. Now we need to make envelopes. I have already made 3 of the envelopes to save us some time, but I will make the 4th envelope with you guys. So I have my piece that measures 10.5 by 6 on the 10.5 inch side. I'm going to score at 4 and at 8 1/8. Then I'm going to rotate it to the 6 inch side, score at 3/4 of an inch, rotate it to the opposite 6, and score at 3/4 of an inch. And then I'll use my big old spatula to fold and burnish my scores. And this is going to be an easy peasy simple way of making an envelope. What we're going to be doing on all sides is we're basically going to be cutting up here, and then we'll angle cut in here. And we're going to do that on all sides of this envelope. So just go up to that score, angle, and angle. You'll have that. Do the same thing here and the same thing here. We're not doing deep angles, we're just angling in a little. Do the same thing here and here. And then we'll do our final one, and you can see this envelope taking shape. And so there we have our envelope form. So all we need to do at this point is fold in these sides. We're going to place glue on the widest part here at the bottom, right along the edge. And now we can take this piece here at the bottom, bring it up, use your bone folder, big old spatula, whatever you use to get it nice and stuck. And that's our flap for closing. I am going to take a piece of my double stick tape, place it right along the top. And now we have our envelope. We can take one of our cards and put it in the envelope. Perfect fit. And now we have this little cutie that we can drop into a bag, a gift box, hand off, however you want to do it. So I am going to bring in the other 3 envelopes that I've made. So I now have a set of 4 envelopes that measure 4 1/8 by 4 1/2. We can place those in. I have 4 really sweet cards that measure 4 by 4. We can place those in. I can put my lid on, and we have a complete set, y'all. And when finished, our box bottom measures 5 by 5. The box top measures 5 1/8 by 5 1/8. So we have a beautifully complete set that we can gift, sell, or keep. I'm going to bring the first one back in, but not open it, because I want us to look at all of this goodness that we have right here. And don't you think that this is a very handsomely elegant set? You don't need a whole lot of embellishments when you start with a lid that has a nice print on it. So if you're planning on selling these, keep your costs down by picking out those pages in your book that already have a design on it, and let that design be your box top and your only embellishment on this project. We don't always have to add external embellishments. We can let the paper be the embellishment itself. So guys, I hope that you have liked this project. If you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.